ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। शुक्लांभरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपार करुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरेन्द्र गुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। So we are seeing Viveka Chudamani. We have finished the sadhana chatushtaya, that is the prerequisites for Vedantic studies. They are nitya nitya vastu vivekaha, ikha mudrartha phalabhoga viragaha, shamadhi shatka sampattihi, and mumukshutvam. Respectively, discrimination between temporary and permanent things, dispassion towards all the non-permanent source of security, peace and happiness, 6 disciplines starting from Shama, and a desire for moksha. What are those 6 disciplines? They are Shama, Dama, Uparatihi, Shraddha, Samadhanam. Shama meaning physical, mental, mano nigraha, and then physical nigraha, physical control. Shama, Dama, Uparati. Uparati means looking inwards. Titiksha meaning patience. Shraddha, having faith in the words of Guru Shastra Upadesha. And Samadhana, laser sharp focus on the studies. So a Sishya, having gained all these qualities, that kind of Sishya is called as Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. Sampanna meaning endowed with. Endowed with what? Sadhana Chatushtaya. So that is why that kind of Sishya is called as Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. He goes to a Guru and then he prostrates onto the feet of Guru, and then he is asking this question. What does he ask? Katham tareyam bhavasindumetam kavagatirme katamostyupayaha janena kinchit kripayavamam prabho samsara dukkha kshatimatanushva. He says, Katam tareyam bhavasindumetam. Bhavasindhumetam katam tareyam. How to cross over this ocean of samsara? That is his first question. Second question, ka va gatihi. Gatihi means destination. Ka va gatihi. What is our destination? That is, if I have crossed over the ocean of samsara, what would I get? And his third question is, Katamostyupayaha. Katamaha astyupayaha. What are the accessories with which I cross the ocean of samsara? Upayaha. And the Guru started answering his questions. He answers the second question first. That is, what is the destination? Kava gatihi. So the logic being, once the Guru tells that the destination is Parama Anandam, the Sishya will have more interest towards studying the Vedanta Shastra. That is the logic. And the Guru says, Astyupayo Mahan Kaschit Samsara Bhayanashanaha. Hey Mahan, the Guru tells Sishya, Mahan, oh learned one, Mahan, hey, most pure one, hey, a very good person, there is an upaya. What is that upaya? Samsara bhayanashanaha. That by following that, you will get rid of all your fears of samsara bhaya. Tena tirtva bhavam bodhim paramanandamapsyasi. After crossing the ocean of samsara with that upaya, what is waiting for you on the other end? Parama anandam. That anandam is not like eating a gulab jamun right now. If I eat a gulab jamun, I will be having an ananda just for 2 minutes till it crosses my throat. I will have ananda. After that, I will not have any ananda. But once you cross over this ocean of samsara, once you get moksha, you will have parama ananda, unlimited, infinite ananda. That is what is waiting for you, hey Sishya, on the other end. So now the Sishya is sitting straight and he has sharpened the ears. Okay, if on the other end, I'm going to get Parama Ananda, I will do whatever it takes to get Parama Ananda. So now the Sishya is ready to get the knowledge, and now he is going to, now the Guru is going to answer his other questions. How to cross over the ocean of samsara? The Guru says, Vedantartha vicharena jayate jnanamuttamam tenatyantika samsara dukkhanasho bhavatyanuhu. This is another very, very important shloka in Viveka Chudamani. How to cross over the ocean of samsara? He says, the Guru says, Vedantartha vicharena jayate jnanamuttamam. You get jnanam, meaning knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge by doing what? Knowledge not by sitting in meditation. Knowledge not by doing puja. Knowledge not by studying a physics or chemistry book, but knowledge of Vedantartha vicharena. Vedanta artha vicharena. Artha meaning. Vedanta meaning of Veda anta, the end portions of Vedas. Vicharena, by analyzing the meanings of Vedanta, Jayate Jnanamuttamam. Jayate means born. What is born? By analyzing the meaning of Vedantartha, you get Jnanam. And what is that type of Jnanam? It is Uttamam Jnanam. It is the most auspicious, the highest form of knowledge. Uttamam Jnanam. Tena anti tenatyanti sakalam tenatyantika samsara dukkhanasho bhavatyanhu. Once you get that jnanam, once you get that uttamam jnanam, what will you do? What will you get? Samsara dukkhanashaha bhavati. All the dukkha, all the sorrows which arises because of samsara, all these things will get nasham, will get degraded. Bhavatyanuhu. So, what is the path the Guru lays for the Sishya? First, you get Vedantartha Vichara. First, you do an enquiry into the meanings of Vedanta. By Vedantartha Vichara, you get Jnanam, you get knowledge. And because of that knowledge, what do you get? You get samsara dukkha nashaha, destruction of the sorrow of samsara. Okay, what is Vedanta? I said anta meaning end. Vedanta meaning the end portion of Vedas. That is Upanishads. We have got thousands of Upanishads, of which 108 Upanishads we get till now. Of that, 10 Upanishads is specially chosen by Adi Shankaracharya, and he has written commentaries on those 10 Upanishads. So when we have to do Vedanta Artha Vichara, we have to study the meaning of the 10 Upanishads. But the problem is, some Upanishads are small, but some Upanishads are so big. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. One Upanishad name itself is Brihad Aranyakam. Aranyaka is forest. Brihadaranyaka is big forest. You know, once you go into the Upanishad, you will be as lost as you would be, as you would once you go into a very big forest. So how do I'm a mere mortal. I don't have that knowledge to study all those Upanishads. So this question will arise in everybody's mind. But because of his apara karuna, Adi Shankaracharya has condensed all the Upanishads and he made a juice of all the Upanishads. He put that everything into a capsule form. He has presented the crux, the rasam of all the Upanishads in the form of Viveka Chudamani. That is what we are studying now. Another very important thing that the shloka says, which people often miss, is the last word, Bhavatyanuhu. This is the most distinguishing feature of Advaita Vedanta. There are several philosophies of Vedanta. We have Dvaitic interpretation, we have Visishtadvaitic interpretations, etc. But Advaita Vedanta accepts something called as Jivan Mukta. That is, you can get mukti right now with my current body. I don't have to leave the body to get mukti. I don't have to get mukti in the next janma. Advaita Vedanta says, right now you can get mukti. And that is what here the Guru says. When do you get samsara dukkha nashaha? When will, the destruction of fears from samsara happen? After you leave the body, or you leave the body, you go to Swargaloka and then you get samsara dukkha in Swargaloka? No. The Guru says, samsara dukkha nashaha bhavatyanu. Anu means immediately, following. That is why Lakshmana is called as Rama Anuja. Anuja means brother. Anu means the one who is born immediately after Rama is Anu. Rama Anuja. So Anuja means brother. Rama Anuja means the Anuja of Rama, the brother, the one who immediately followed Rama is called as Rama Anuja. Right? So here the Guru puts the same word Anu, meaning immediately after you do Vedantartha Vichara, you don't have to leave your body to get rid of samsara. You don't have to go to Brahmaloka to get rid of samsara. You don't have to take another janma to get rid of samsara. Right now, in this janma, you can get rid of samsara, the Acharya says, by putting Bhavatyanu. Okay, so now the first question is answered. Bhavasindhu metam katham tareyam. The answer is Jnanam, which is born out of Vedantartha Vichara. So the first question is answered. The second question is answered. Now the Guru is going to answer the third question. Katamostyupayaha. Upayaha katamaha. So what are the accessories with which I cross the ocean of samsara? So this shloka is also a very, very important shloka. Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumukshoho mukter hetun vakti sakshat shruder ghihi yo vayete shveva tishtatya mukshya moksho vidya kalpita deha bandhat. The Guru says, what are the accessories? Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yogan, Mumukshoho. The Mumukshoho, Mumuksha means the one who is desirous of getting moksha. We said Mumuksha to be one of the prerequisites for Vedantic studies. Mumuksha means moksha icha, the desire for moksha. And that mumuksha, muktehe hetun vakti. Muktehe hetuhu. Hetu means the one who helps. Hetu. What is the hetu for muktaha? Shraddha, bhakti, dhyana yogan. Shraddha, faith, bhakti, devotion, dhyana yoga, constant contemplation. These three are the accessories for a mumukshu. Says who? Sakshat Shruterghi. Shruterghi is a beautiful word. Gi, to sing. Who is singing? What is singing? Shruterghi, the one who sings Vedas, meaning the one who recites Vedas. The Jnanis, the Rishis tell that Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogas are the accessories for moksha. What is Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga? We all know what is Shraddha. Shraddha means faith in Guru Shastra Upadesham. Whatever the Guru says, whatever the Guru says, no, whatever the Guru says according to Shastra, you follow that. Shraddha. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानम्. The one who has got Shraddha, he will get Jnanam. And Jnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati. The one who gets Jnanam, what does he get? He gets param shantihi, eternal peace is what is achieved by Jnanam. And who gets Jnanam? Shraddhavan labate. The one who has got Shraddha gets Jnanam. I'm not saying, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So Shraddha is very, very important in order to get Jnanam. In fact, we have got something called as Shraddha Suktam in Vedas. Shraddha Suktam, Vedic poems, Vedic Suktams are highly imaginative. They imagine Shraddha as a Devi, as a goddess who bestows Shraddha to all the devotees. And there is a Suktam, just like how we have Vishnu Suktam, Rudra Suktam, Brahma Suktam, Durga Suktam, Shri Suktam, like that. We have got a Shraddha Suktam, and it is very beautiful Suktam. And where the Suktam is often chanted? The Suktam is often chanted before Upanayanam. Before Upanayanam is a ceremony where a brahmachari is initiated into Vedic studies. And all the students of Vedas should have Shraddha in Veda, right? So that is why before Upanayanam, this Shraddha Suktam is recited as a part of the Udaga Shanti ritual. And before the birth of a child, called as Simantam or Pumsavanam, the Udaga Shanti ritual is done, and as a part of Udaga Shanti ritual, the Shraddha Suktam is chanted. When the child is in the womb, they chant Shraddha Suktam in order to incorporate Shraddha, faith, into the child. The Suktam is a very small Suktam. It goes like this. Shraddhaya samidhyate, Shraddhaya vindate havihi, Shraddham bhagasya murdhani, Vachasa vedayamasi, Priyagh shraddhe dadataha, Priyagh shraddhe didasataha, Priyam bhojeshu yajvasu, idam uditam kridhi, yatha deva asureshu, shraddha mugreshu chakrire, एवं भोजेषु यज्वसु अस्माकमुदितं कृधि श्रद्धां देवा यजमानाः वायुगोपा उपासते श्रद्धागुं हृदय्यया कूत्या श्रद्धया हूयते हविः श्रद्धां प्रातर्हवामहे श्रद्धा मध्यन्तिनं परि श्रद्धागुं सूर्यस्य निमृचि श्रद्धे श्रद्धापयेहमा श्रद्धा देवानधिवस्ते श्रद्धा विश्वमिदं जगत् श्रद्धां कामस्य मातरम् हविषा वर्धयामसि. It says Shraddham Bhagasya Murdhani. Bhaga is a group of qualities, and the one who has got those qualities is called as Bhagavan. Just like how the one who has got lot of dhanam, money, is called as Dhanavan, just like how the one who has got lot of good qualities, guna, is called as Gunavan. In the same way, the person who has got these set of qualities called as Bhaga is called as Bhagavan. And what does Shraddha Suktam say? Shraddham Bhagasya Murdhani. Murdhani means head. Apparently, Shraddha is the first and foremost quality in Bhaga, in the group of qualities called as Bhaga. And that's why it says Shraddham Bhagasya Murdhani. And this suktam can be chanted by all those people who wanted more faith. There will be some times where our faith is normally tested. We will be relying on Bhagavan for a lot of stuff, and we will get disappointed if all those things are not fulfilled. So our faith is normally shaken. And if we chant Shraddha Suktam at those times, we can reinstate our faith. It says, Shraddham Pratarhavamahe. I propitiate Shraddha in the morning. Shraddha Madhyantinam Pari. I propitiate the Shraddha Devi in the afternoon. Shraddhagum Suryasya Nimruchi. I propitiate Shraddha in the evening. And then what is the prayer? Shraddhe Shraddhapaye Hama. Hey Shraddha Devi, please give me a lot of Shraddha. Faith is something very, very important, and even modern science accepts faith. It is not only important that you take medicines. In medicine, in medical terminology, there is something called as placebo effect. Even if you eat just sugar crystals, with that faith, you will get cured of the disease. That is called as placebo effect. And people don't know how it works. People say it all happens due to the faith. So Shraddha is very, very important. And that's what is the first accessory that Acharya says, to get moksha, to get jnanam, Shraddha. What is the second accessory? The second accessory is bhakti, devotion in God. Advaita Vedanta faces a lot of undue criticisms by other people. Apparently, other faith people think that once you are a jnani, you will lose devotion towards Bhagavan. It is not so, because here Acharya says Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga Davaihi. You need to have Shraddha, you need to have Bhakti, you need to have jnanam till you cross over the ocean of samsara. So bhakti, we all know, is devotion towards God. And let us see why bhakti is important. Say you fell into waters. Once you fell into water, you want to stay afloat. And if you don't know swimming like me, if you want to stay afloat, what would you do? there are something called as floaters, like you can get hold of floaters, or you can get hold of a piece of wood which normally floats on water. If you keep hold of those things, which normally don't go into the water, you can also manage to stay afloat. But what if you hold on to a piece of stone? A piece of rock is coming towards you. You say, I'm going to get hold of that piece of rock, and that rock is going to help me stay afloat. It cannot do, because the rock itself is getting drowned in water. And if you hold on to the rock, you will go into the water even faster, right? In the same way, samsara is a sagara. Samsara is the ocean. And if you want to come up the ocean of samsara, in order to cross, you need to get hold of something which is not affected by samsara, right? If I get hold on to something which itself is affected by samsara, then it is not going to help me. And Bhagavan is the only thing in this universe who is not affected by the ocean of samsara, who is not touched by triguna. Sambhavami atmamayaya, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Hey Arjuna, don't think me like you, says Krishna. I am like, I am doing avatara in this universe not because of my past karmas, but because of my leela. I am doing avatara in this universe, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So if you want to cross over the ocean of samsara, you have to hold on to Bhagavan, who is untainted by the samsara. That is why bhakti is very, very important. And we all know the shloka, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. You can do bhakti in several ways, and these 9 ways are told in Srimad Bhagavata and Vishnu Purana. Shravanam, just keep on listening to stories of Bhagavan. Kirtanam, doing Nama Sankirtanam. Smaranam, keep on remembering Bhagavan. Pada Sevanam, doing sevas to Bhagavan. Archanam, doing lot of archana to Bhagavan. Vandanam, doing namaskaras to Bhagavan. Dasyam, imagining yourself as a dasa, as a servant to Bhagavan. Sakhyam, imagining yourself as a friend to Bhagavan. Sundarar did Sakhya Bhakti, as a friend to Bhagavan. And finally, and the highest of all is Atma Nivedanam. That is giving yourself as a Nivedanam to Bhagavan. These are Navavida Bhakti. And we have seen previously that it can be any god that your mind goes into. It can be Vishnu, it can be Shiva, it can be Shakti, it can be Ganapati. Any god which has been prescribed in Vedas, you can take and you can show your devotion to those gods, and that is called as bhakti. And the third is Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga. What is Dhyana? Means constant contemplation of the Vedantartha. Previously we said Vedantartha, you have to inquire into the meaning of Vedanta to get Jnanam. And the Jnanam cannot be just one time. Okay, I study Vedanta 8:30 to 9 o'clock, and then for the rest of the week I forget. It is not like that. You have to keep on listening to Vedanta. Listening meaning not listening to the class, but you have to keep on contemplating on the Vedantartha, for the rest of your life, in order to cross over the ocean of samsara. So these 3 are the 3 accessories, 3 very important accessories in order to cross over the ocean of samsara. And previously I have told, Adi Shankara has made Viveka Chudamani as a capsule form into of all the Upanishads, right? Because he has taken Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga right from an Upanishad called as Kaivalya Upanishad. The Upanishad starts like this. Athashvalayano bhagavantam parameshtinam upasametyo vacha adihi bhagavo brahma vidyam varishtham sada sadbhis sevyamanam nighudam yatha chirat sarva papam vyapohya parat param purusham yati vidwan. The Sishya Ashvalayana is the Sishya. He goes to Chaturmukha Brahma, and to that Chaturmukha Brahma he asks, Adihi Bhagavan Brahma Vidyam Parishtam. Hey Brahmaji, hey Bhagavan, please give me Brahma Vidya. Please give me the knowledge about Brahman, and getting which Sada Sadbihi Sevyamanam Nighudam Yathachirat Sarva Papam Vyapohya, obtaining which Jnanam I get absolved of all my papam. I get absolved of all my papam. Parat param purusham yati vidwan. Obtaining that knowledge, I get the knowledge of the highest self. Parat param purusham. And what does Brahma say? He say, Tasmai sahovacha pitamahascha Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Davaihi. He says, hey Ashvalayana, you will know the Brahma Jnanam. You will know the knowledge of Brahman by Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana Yoga. By having Shraddha, Bhakti and by doing Dhyana, you will get the Brahma Jnanam. Says Brahmaji to Sishya, and Adi Shankaracharya has said the same thing to us. Okay, now the Guru has answered all the questions to the Sishya. But now he is not stopping with the questions asked. He also shows a piece of carrot to the Sishya. You know what happens when you show a piece of carrot to a horse? The horse moves towards the carrot, right? In the same way, the Guru is feeding some extra information to the Sishya so that he can explain, he can go to the next concept. So what is he feeding? He says, Avidya kalpitat deha bandhat. Like say that, like we'll see the shloka, Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogan Mumukshoho Mukte Hetun Bhakti Sakshat Shruter Ghihi Yova Ete Shveva Tishthatya Mushya Mokshaha Avidya Kalpita Deha Bandhat. By having Shraddha Bhakti and Jnana, you will get moksha. You will get freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from avidya kalpitat deha bandhat. Bandham means bondage. Only when you have a bondage, you can get freedom. Right? He says, bandha bondage. Bondage of what? Bondage of deha. The bondage arising due to identification with body. We are not our body. We have a body, but we are not our body. But we misidentify ourselves to be our body. So that misidentification is called as avidya, ignorance. What is the knowledge? The knowledge is, I am not the body, I have a body. But what is the misknowledge or avidya or ignorance we have? We think our body to be our own self. And the Guru says, by doing Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga, by getting Veda, by doing Vedantartha Vichara, you will get Jnanam that you are not the body. So that is the Jnanam he is going to get. And the Guru is so interesting. He is not stopping with this shloka. He also tells the next shloka, which, it is like putting a bomb to the Sishya. The Guru says the nature of bondage. Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava. ह्यनात्मबन्धस्तत एव संसृतिः तयोर्विवेकाधि तपोधवन्निः अज्ञानकार्यं प्रतहेत् समूलम्. He says to Sishya, hey Sishya, you are Paramatmanaha, Paramatmanastava. Hey Sishya, you are in reality a Paramatma. He says Parabrahman. What is the nature of Parabrahman? He says Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Parabrahman is one who exists at all the three times. But I am not like that. I have a date of birth, and even though I don't like it, I have an expiry date. So that Satyam is out. Jnanam, Paramatma is said to be omniscient, but my poor self don't know the spelling of omniscient, whether I should put OMNITIENT or SCIENT. I don't know the spelling for omniscient, but Paramatma is supposed to be the knower of everything. So that itself, that also is out. Next is what? Satyam, Jnanam, Anandam. Paramatma is supposed to be an embodiment of happiness, but I don't get happiness at all. Even if I get happiness now, after having 1 month of happiness, I would start worry. Hey, I'm having, for this past month, I have always been getting good things. When am I going to lose this happiness? I started worrying even after getting happiness. So everything I think I am is opposite of what Veda says Paramatma is. But this poor guru says, you are that Paramatma. Now, Sishya has got a lot of questions. He's going to ask all those questions in the next class, and the entire Viveka Chudamani is the answer for all those questions. So, before finishing this class, let us finish this shloka. The Guru says, Ajnana Yogat Paramatmanastava Hyanatma Bandhaha Tatayeva Samsrutihi. He Sishya, you are in reality Paramatma. But because of Ajnana, because of ignorance, you have a bondage, Anatma Bandhaha. You have been put into this jail which is made of Anatma. He Anatma Bandhaha Tatayeva Samsrutihi. So what do you have to do? Tayoho Vivekadi Tapodhavannihi. You have to take a fire. What is that fire made of? That fire is called as discrimination. You have to take the fire which origin of which is from discrimination. Ajnana karyam pradahet samulam. With that fire arising out of discrimination, with that fire of knowledge which arises out of discrimination, what do? You burn all the ajnana karyam. You burn all the effects of ajnana. What is the effect of ajnana? The effect of ajnana is samsara, and the effect of samsara is dukkha. So the Guru says, you take that fire of knowledge which is born out of discrimination, and you burn all the samsara. Pradahetsa moolam. To the root you burn the samsara, and you can happily get moksha. The Guru says. Now the Sishya is going to pick on each and every word the Guru says. Okay, now we ourselves will have a lot of questions. If I think I am Paramatma, why do I have this bondage? Can Paramatma be ever bound? We don't know. Okay, I have this bondage, and if that bondage is so strong enough to even bond the Paramatma, how can I get free of that bondage? If that bondage is so strong so that it affects even the Paramatma, how can I get free of that bondage? So we have got all those questions, and don't worry, the Sishya is going to ask all those questions to Guru. Remember the shloka, Tadvitti Pranipadena Pariprashnena Sevaya, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. The Sishya is going to get hold of that shloka. He is going to ask questions left, right, and center. In fact, that is what the Guru wants. That's why the Guru said the shloka. And now the Guru is going to answer all that shlokas as the rest of Viveka Chudamani text. So if somebody asks, what is the subject matter of Viveka Chudamani? You can say, this is the origin of Viveka Chudamani, and answer to the next shloka is all the subject matter of Viveka Chudamani. With this, we will finish today's class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you, Shyamji.